Welcome back to
everybody.
WGIR, Going In Raw Radio. So, Quizzlemania is in the books. My God, what a nerve-wracking experience that was.
It truly is. It is. At least in my case, it was only an hour and a half anxiety attack. You had to sit there for almost 3 hours.
So including the bonus time afterwards, all told it was 3 hours. But yeah, it was close to it. I think the bonus stuff was only like a half hour. It was like 2.5 hours of.
Yeah, that's a new addition then, because there was no bonus. At least if there was, I wasn't invited to it.
But I thought that I could not have asked for a better storyline. I think Adam was very pleased. He from the beginning was pushing the Steve versus Larson narrative, which was funny because. Like that had maybe crossed my mind, but my only goal internally, and I couldn't think about anything else, was don't make an absolute mockery of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, at least show that you have some semblance.
The bare minimum of pro wrestling knowledge required to be a co-host of a reasonably successful wrestling podcast.
Like I know that I can be entertaining. I know that I can be, funny at times when I want to be. And I thought that I was okay doing that. But at the end of the day, you want to show people, hey, this guy is hosting a wrestling podcast.
You should know his stuff.
For some reason beyond just the lulls.
Mm-hmm.
So and even the stuff that like. When me and Pete were doing the matching, the word game that I had told you that I'd seen before,
yeah.
I was happy we got that because I thought that's a fun game to play.
Yeah.
And like the Eddie Guerrero answer, like when I think of I think it was bloodiest.
Oh, it
was something. I forget what the other word was. One of them was blood, like most blood or something like that.
Yeah.
Like I only know of one match where the person, like high profile match, where the guy literally passed out, like a main roster pay-per-view level match, so somebody bled so much.
Blood worst.
And that was Eddie Guerrero. And then the second one was Mass Transit. I was like, I wonder if he would know much about, because I mean the gag with Pete is that he always comes in last, as he did today.
Yeah.
And I just don't know what kind of how obscure his shit goes.
It's in a certain sense, it was more frustrating watching as opposed to participating.
Oh yeah.
Because when you're doing the 20 questions,
I
think it's when you asked who was champion Attitude Era from. That's the worst. That one is the worst. That one is misery. When you asked who, is this person, a top champion Attitude Era? No. What about from this stretch of time? And he said yes. And I was like, oh, I know who it is now.
Mm-hmm,
I know it. Done.
Yeah. Yeah,
I was like, Mark Henry, say Mark Henry, please say Mark Henry.
Yeah, I didn't feel too bad in the end. I know that was excruciating because like Lacey, she was watching and she was like, dude, you were taking not during, but afterwards, she was like, it was excruciating long periods of time when you were just sitting there. And I was like, I know, but like you're listening because they're all yapping away and you're like, you're half listening to their conversation. And I mean, frankly, I was like, man, I got out with 5 points or whatever it was.
Yeah.
I was happy with that when I got Mark Henry, but my thing was the thing that I was focused on, and the reason why I didn't turn to him, like I didn't immediately jump at him, because when I asked the question, is he an active wrestler, and he sort of looked at the entry odd and then said no, I was like, there's no question in my mind that he's not an active wrestler anymore.
I don't know if he ever officially retired, did he? But maybe that's why he had to take that pause.
That could be, and
because the alternatives for that particular one was probably JBL, Christian.
Yeah, the only reason I didn't choose Christian because he had been on there before, and I figured that he wasn't in that game before, and I figured he wasn't going to choose him.
Double dip, yeah.
I had like Swagger written down. But there was something that precluded. Oh, because he's an active wrestler,
and he didn't wrestle during the Attitude Era either.
And he didn't wrestle during the Attitude Era. But yeah, that was tough.
Did you get Ellsworth tattoo? Did you get that right?
No, I did terribly on the tattoos. I did awful.
I was disappointed you didn't get the Big Show one. That one disappointed me. He's
I
had that
know.
tattoo forever.
It's one of those things where it's like I see it and I'm like, what is that? Like, man. The Bray one, I was like, oh, I know that anywhere. Like, because, and honestly, it was because I was like, wait a second. I said, those like the red like scratch tattoos that he has, that gave it away for me. I was like, oh, that's right. And then he got that big weird chest tattoo, and we never see his chest.
Mm-hmm. Giant wolf.
But yeah, no, I was very my heart was quite warm when I saw how many people were rooting me on and cheering me on. And it was
that the super chat I said towards the beginning, but they were just such a backlog. Mm-hmm. And I was trying to give you some words of encouragement. Straight out of the movie Airplane, which had that line that Leslie Nielsen pops his head in the cockpit like 3 or 4 times and says to Robert Hayes and Julie Haggerty, I just want to tell you good luck. We're all pulling for you. He had a bad probably get the reference. But
what's the movie called? Airplane
Airplane, yeah.
Is so deep, and I've maybe seen chunks of that movie once.
Oh, all right.
But never the entire thing, but it always tickles me whenever you drop a reference.
Oh, yeah, man.
Because it's obviously something that sits heavy. It has a fond place in your heart.
I watched that a lot as a young Larson.
Yeah.
A lot.
But I feel bad for poor Pete.
Yeah, man, he's got to shave that beard.
Smooth Pete has got to shave that beard.
And reach the goal of the eyebrows. Here's the thing, though, watching this, at least beyond the anxiety of wanting you get these answers, it percolates my competitive nature. I want to get back on. I want to step to the king. I want to step to Sean. I want to see how I would fare.
Oh,
I probably would fare miserably, but I want to try.
Here's the thing that I've realized, dude, is that, see, right now there's 2 layers. There's Sean and then there's Luke. Because Luke is really good, too. And I don't know what the point differential was between you, and I'm assuming Luke came in second when you were there.
Yeah, I think the point differential between I had 39. I think Andy at first. I don't know if he cracked 50.
Oh wow!
Like the point differential wasn't that huge.
Okay, but Luke, Luke got that Brie Bella tattoo. He was like, I was sitting there looking through pictures of XYZ, and that kind of stuff. When you're constantly researching, and like if we had been doing 10 for the win, like continuously, I would probably do a hell of a lot better, because when you're constantly researching stuff, like you're always retaining that information. I am glad. Go ahead.
I was gonna say the winner when I was on got 53 points.
Okay. But yeah, no, it was fun. How did you like that Heidenreich sex moment?
It was good, and it was inspired touch by Pete to put the tattoo on there that we'd seen earlier in the show. That was brilliant. Otherwise, it would have happened.
Stroke of genius. The funny thing is, as the second I saw it, literally the second I saw it, I thought that's Heidenreich and Michael Cole. And then when I saw the tattoo, I was like, oh my God, I'm so right now, because I don't want to just launch into Heidenreich sex. But the crazy thing is, like, they were all like, oh my God, he's never going to get this. He's never going to get this. And the only reason I got it is because that's like our favorite bit from the Conrad show.
Mm-hmm.
So that's neat. The Blue Chew read.
The Blue Chew read, yeah.
So that was, I was dying that I got that one. And like, I never knew that the Kurt Angle milk bit was referred to as Milkomania. I had never heard that before. I was like,
I never heard that either.
Fuck. So like, and then I remembered after the fact the Where To Stephanie, even though I think we did a Going In Raw view.
Yeah, on that show, I think so. Yeah. Where To Stephanie?
Or we did we did the one with when Kennedy ended up in a limo, I think.
Yeah, but I feel like we watched that show where Steph or maybe it's just watching. Did they have that on Broken Skull? That bit?
Maybe that could.
Oh
be.
No, I know. I think I saw that watching because I was cutting probably one of the 10 for the wins we did. That's probably.
I'm
why
just
I saw it
really happy I didn't get that one, because that one I would have been fucking lost.
Yeah.
And yeah, who'd have thought my drawing skills did not come into play at all. My my Milkomania. I tried too. I tried with that Kurt Angle thing. I think if I would have had if I just would have gone easy and drawed a very simple Kurt Angle, a carton of milk, and the ring, with maybe like like a little hose going to it. But like I overthink things when I draw. I try to
And you
actually
got the gun.
draw.
It looked like a gun instead of the hose.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I saw it and I was like, oh, that's a milk carton. Some people assume that was like a penis or
I
something.
could have
with other
drawn
hand.
a milk carton better, like with some dimension to it, so it didn't look like an actual penis.
Well, I thought it was. I thought it was. There was some dimension. I mean, I was watching on my phone, but I thought I saw some dimension to it. I was excited for the in your house. I was like, oh man, I could actually do kind of.
You know what
okay
fucked me on that? You know what totally fucked me on that one? My brain was wired for reverse chronological order. Otherwise, I would have like. And then I realized right after I said, no, I realized right after I said Degeneration X, and then somebody said a different one, and I was like, oh, wait a second, we're just throwing these out there. Yeah. And then I said whatever I said, like Unforgiven or whatever, because I remember that was like one of them. And then after that, I was like, come on. I'm like, dude, there were so many of them, and I should know like some of these. And
Rise of the Taker, yeah.
I got stuck on, I forget which one it was. Wasn't there was an In Your House where the dudes with attitudes.
Yeah.
What was the name of that?
It was is that one Good Friends, Better Enemies? That was one of them. I don't know if that was the exact show. I think we did
that going in raw view, I think.
Yeah, we did one that.
And so
that was the one.
I was stuck thinking that it was an easier title to remember instead of just saying like, man, fucking, where's Finn Balor? I mean, I just read Finn Balor right there. I was like, man, Rock Bottom. Like, Rock Bottom was totally one. They used to, like, do that all the time. So,
let's see. What was that one? I don't think... Yeah, Rock Bottom was one. Breakdown, Fully Load, Over the Edge, Unforgiven, No Way Out, Texas, DX, Bad Blood.
Oh, I didn't know there was a No Way Out.
Cold Day in Hell. Oh, Revenge of the Taker, not Rise of the Taker. It's Time, Buried Alive, Mind Games, Beware of Dog,
Mind
Good
Games,
Friends.
Mind, that's right.
So Good Friends, Better Enemies was the one where HBK and Diesel had a match against each other, not when they were... That was Triple Header, is the two dudes with attitude.
Triple Header, okay. Yeah.
That was the third one.
But it's... But yeah, no, it was fun. Afterwards, I was just mentally exhausted, though. Like, I think I geeked myself out for it too much over the last 48 hours.
Yeah, I know the crack at it.
Yeah, but that's the thing though. Like, that's what we got to start doing. Like, research. We have to force ourselves to do research because that's the only way it's gonna happen. Because once you start doing that, like, you got to prepare for it.
Yeah, no, I didn't prepare at all.
And that's the funny thing. Both ECW champions and Intercontinental champions, it was on my list of shit to study. And then I was like, man, there's been like 150 Intercontinental champions. I'm not sure how deep, like, that's.
Well,
that's
we actually went through a few of the ECW champs.
I know
prep work.
That's why. The thing about that too is that there was ECW champions in reverse chronological order. I knew that before Tommy Dreamer was Christian, I didn't go to people who had multiple reigns, like the actual order of it.
Yeah.
I was going to I was like, okay, who had it previous to, but wasn't including somebody who had already had it.
Gotcha.
In like later. I don't know. My brain wasn't there. I had like names written down, like Lashley, Hardy, Christian. I had a bunch of names written down, so I was like, okay, I'm just going to say a name that hasn't been said yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was fun. I enjoyed getting some lulls out of the guys. But yeah, Sean Ross Sapp, he just has like, he has got that. It's you can tell that it's literally, there's a reason why he does what he does. It's his entire life. Like, you can tell that, like, the fact that he knew Sasha's inner lip tattoo, he was like, yeah, I follow a lot of Sasha Stan accounts.
Yeah.
I don't.
I'd seen that tattoo somewhere before.
I think I had too, but like, not enough to place it.
Yeah. But then I saw it, I was like, oh, that's Sasha. But then everybody else, like, I think Rhea does have a tattoo, and Paige does too. I was like, oh, maybe it's not Sasha.
I was actually, the Mark Henry one, I was actually heartened because when they were like, "Hey," because at first I was like, "Man, everybody fucking knows this, but me." And then the other guys were like, "Yeah, I didn't really know it." Like they thought they knew, somebody thought I was Christian or something, and so I didn't feel too bad.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I felt pretty good about my run today.
Yeah, at the end, because when I was on, considering the hole I dug myself in to begin with, at the end of it, I felt pretty good. At least you got points getting out of that eBay round, man.
I know. I was happy about that.
That's luck of the draw, it feels like.
Yeah.
No one got out to a huge lead, really, at any point.
Yeah.
Like when I did it, and Luke got 16 points on the 20 questions thing. Although he did pretty well for himself this time, too.
But, like, for Luke to know that Lance Hoyt had the back tattoo, and then I was looking at his tattoo. It's all covered up with a graveyard.
Yeah, it's covered up now, I know.
I was like, yeah, dude, there's no way. There's no way. So, I don't know. I had my Heidenreich moment. I was happy about that.
Yep.